Hello, and thank you for listening to WRYAT, New Orleans' fifth-ranked public radio station. As always, we're broadcasting live from a prefabricated Home Depot shed located off of South Carrollton by the Popeyes.
New Orleans, one of the richest cities in the history of the world, in strictly culinary terms, of course. Over 300 years of food culture, and I've been here for just over a month. Who am I, you ask? I'm Jeffrey Reynolds, food critic and historian. But my colleagues call me Jazz Reynolds, food critic and historian. So come with me, and I'll show you the best-kept secrets on where to eat and dine in the Big Easy. Soon you'll learn that every grain of rice in your bowl of jumbo has a story to tell. So again, I'm Jazz Reynolds, and welcome to This Taste of New Orleans. Good day and happy Thanksgiving, hungry listeners. Jazz Reynolds here, coming to you live from the historic New Orleans Fairgrounds racetracks, where we are partaking in the Thanksgiving races. Being that I've been a New Orleans transplant for a little over a month, I don't have much in the way of family and absolutely no friends here yet, but I'm gonna look to change all that today. Thanksgiving is an important holiday for these Americans, celebrating the slaughter of indigenous people and subsequent theft and colonization of their land with a big meal that traditionally consists of a fully cooked turkey, stuffing, vegetables such as green beans, and casserole after casserole of gelatinous family recipes. Of course, if you ain't got family here, and I ain't, the Fairgrounds Racetrack offers its traditional Thanksgiving services every year to folks like me, and provides a few horse races in addition to all the holiday merriment. So I'm looking forward to reviewing their special Thanksgiving spread, experiencing my first Thanksgiving on these shores, and maybe placing a few bets along the way. But I have pounded 6 short blacks from Community Coffee since I've been here, and I think I have to make a quick detour to the facilities because my Mayflower's gotta drop off some pilgrims on Porcelain Plymouth Rock, if you catch my drift. When I return, we'll get to Thanksgiving and get to reviewing. Join me, won't you? Welcome back, hungry listeners. You still listening? I'm reporting live from the Fairgrounds bathroom. Now, I've already attended to my business and I wouldn't put you through that, but I hear sounds of someone sniffling. Here, listen. This mate sounds upset. The holidays can be tough on a lot of people, especially if you don't have anyone to share them with. And old Jazz knows a thing or two about that. I think the right thing to do here would be to help this poor fella out. Show him that there's a lot to be thankful for, and maybe make a new friend in the process. Hey, mate, can you hear me? You don't gotta off yourself. There's still plenty to be thankful for. Why don't you just come out here and spend Thanksgiving with me? I'm Jeffrey Reynolds, but you can call me Jazz.
Hey, look, Jazz, I appreciate the sentiment, but can you stop banging on the stall?
Hey, whatever I gotta do to keep you from doing what you're about to do, friend.
What the is that supposed to mean? Are you a cop?
What? No, I ain't with the filth. In fact, I believe all cops are bad. It says here on my wrist bracelet, the 50. Some white guy was selling them out front.
Okay, well, if you're not a cop, then what the do you want?
Well, mate, I was looking for someone to spend Thanksgiving with, I suppose. I was in the next stall over and heard you sniffling. I was doing a bit of sniffling myself this morning, truth be told. Thinking about my life, how it's gone, and where I've ended up, that sort of thing. Thought that maybe since we're both in here, we're both sad, and we're both alone, maybe we could, do something together.
Shit, I got something we could do together. It's right here in this bag.
Oh my. That's, listeners, if you're still listening.
Listeners? What the man? Are you recording this? Is that why you have a microphone connected to a tape recorder? Shut that thing off.
All right, listeners, at my depressed new friend's request, I'm going to shut off the recorder for just a wee bit so we can, get to know each other a little bit better. I'll provide a status update very shortly. Ooh-wee! Hey, listeners, you still listening? I don't really care. I feel incredible. In fact, I feel invincible. Me and my mate, who prefers to remain nameless, are having the fucking time of our fucking lives. I'm not even hungry anymore. In fact, I probably never have to eat again. The euphoria that I'm experiencing is indescribable. I feel energetic, talkative, and mentally alert. How do you feel, mate?
Feeling good, buddy. Feeling real good. Wait, are you recording this again? What the did I just tell you, fucking piece of idiot f***er?
Ahoy, ahoy, you listeners. After the last recording, my new mate Kevin, who shall remain nameless, and I started to feel a little bit low, so we decided to run back to the bathroom for a quick pick-me-up. We finished off his baggie of tricks, so he just left and said he'd be right back with some more. So I'm just sitting in the stall waiting. If it weren't for the baggie of tricks, I'd be awfully bored right now, but instead I got so many ideas flowing in me noggin that I don't think I'll ever be bored again. What a great Thanksgiving this turned out to be for old Jazz. I'm thankful for new friends, new experiences, but what I'm most thankful for, and going on the record here, I'm saying, and you're listening, what I'm really thankful for is booger sugar, nose beers, toot, white girl, that's right, I'm thankful for cocaine. Here's to feeling good forever, and I am never going to die. Hello, listeners. I've calmed down a little bit. Most of the cocaine I was on is worn off. I feel irritable, anxious, and lower than I did before I snorted the cocaine. My nose also started bleeding, so I got a napkin pressed to my face. Shortly after my last recording, I was detained by fairground security for screaming about cocaine and doing it and wandering around the fairgrounds with an empty baggie and a heart full of hope, screaming about more cocaine and doing it. My nameless friend Kevin never returned. Needless to say, security did not believe me when I told them that the drugs were not mine. I've been asked to vacate the premises, and that's exactly what I'm doing as I stand outside the closed gates of the fairgrounds racetrack waiting for my Uber, never to fly off the handles or do illegal drugs like that again. I apologize to the staff of the fairgrounds racetrack and also to you, dear listeners, for my actions here today, and can promise you right here, right now, I will never do cocaine or illegal narcotics on this program ever again. I am ashamed of myself and deeply sorry for what's happened here today on Thanksgiving of all days. I suppose in a roundabout way, I am thankful for this program, and it's provided an opportunity for me to document my actions and hold myself accountable for who I am and what I do. Thank you, listeners, for being a part of this journey with me, and I hope you continue to stay on this journey with me, wherever it may take us. Hey there, listeners. Jazz checking back in with you to provide a quick status update as promised, and coincidentally, before I sign off for good. Had a bit of a think on my Uber ride back to the motel, and I came to the conclusion that, rather like some more cocaine. Cocaine wins. So I've gathered my belongings, and now I'm waiting on another Uber to arrive to take me to the pawn shop where I can sell most of my belongings, including this expensive recording equipment. Hopefully that'll give me enough money to get through the week. So thanks again for stopping by, listeners. I'm still not particularly hungry, and I hope to never be hungry again. And Kevin, if you're out there, my nameless chum, I hope to find you because I sure am ready to party. That's just how we do it down here in NOLA, baby. Go NOLA, go American football team, and go cocaine. Thank you for tuning in to Distaste of New Orleans. Happy Thanksgiving, Kents, and I'll see you all in hell.
Hi, I'm Pete.
And I'm Ken.
And we are the Crescent City Regal Club.
And today we're going to give you our top 3 CCRC safety tips for your annual turkey fry.
Because nothing is more important to CCRC than safety during your annual turkey fry.
Tip number 3.
The smaller the bird, the better. The sweet spot for a frying turkey is between 8 to 10 pounds.
Anything over 12 and you run the risk of not getting a thorough cook. Nothing is worse on Thanksgiving than raw turkey.
In either case, we recommend having an alternative or backup to rely upon when things just don't work out with the turkey.
Tip number 2.
Keep your kids and animals away from the fryer at all times.
Our Thanksgiving dinner is going to be a little smaller this year after a turkey fry incident ferried away our old sniffing hound Gorch.
Longtime listeners of CCRC will remember old Gorch fondly, and in his honor, we won't be deep frying a turkey this year. But don't worry,
because
our number one safety tip is
just opt for an oilless air fryer. It uses infrared heat rather than oil, so not only is it healthier,
it's also less wasteful and dangerous to the kids and animals.
This oilless fried air turkey is for you, Gorch.
Well, time to get this air-fried bird to our good friends down at the WRYAT studio for the Food Follow-Up Review Show. For a full list of our turkey frying safety tips, visit us online at www.wrytradio.com/CCRC/turkey-time-tips. Anyway, I've been Pete.
And I'm still Ken. Happy Thanksgiving, fellow hunters, and safe cooking.
Now it's time for 2 tablespoons of raw freedom and organic Veritas, seasoned conservatively with liberal tears. It's time to cook the things they don't want you to cook. This is the Anarchist Cooking Show with Alan Singleton.
Welcome back there, folks. We're here celebrating Thanksgiving at the Branch Dravidian Soup Kitchen / Vince Foster Memorial Recording Studio. There's nothing better than stuffing your stuff full of stuffing on this most American of holidays. And no matter how many indigenous terrorist types try to take Thanksgiving away from us, it's still here. And so are we. And we're going nowhere. Now, I've been getting a lot of YouTube clips lately about how the cheesecake industry is propping up Mongolia, and we just can't support that. No, we can't. Any cheesecake you buy puts us in greater debt with the Mongol horde. And I don't know about you, but I think we gave them enough when we let Genghis Khan sprinkle his DNA into 1 out of every 200 men walking our sweet temperate earth. Let me just say, the only thing heating up on that earth is my temper. And whatever we cook up in this here Branch Dravidian kitchen. So what are we making? You need to listen, sheeple. Hit that rewind button on your smartphone if you're not listening on one of those broken Apple devices sold to you by some dead hippie nerd, and you can hear it again. We're going to make ourselves a delicious Thanksgiving dessert that you can swallow with pride. And we're making some cheesecake right here in America, where the best and most patriotic baked goods are made, which means I'm not discounting Winn-Dixie, but this one is going to be better because this is the Loose Change Choose Truth cheesecake with chemtrail cream. Now, warning. No actual chemtrails were used in the making of the chemtrail cream. And by warning, I don't mean eat anything else, because Obama's trying to turn you gay with any other kind of cream, which is, of course, made of chemtrails. So is LaCroix, by the way. Look that up. Don't look that up. And if you're in France, you can call this the false flag fromage cake, and then immediately stop listening, because no French allowed on the Anarchist Cooking Show. Okay, so the cheesecake. First, I want you to take 2 gallons of your Alan Singleton Truth Shake, which, if you don't have it, you can buy from cookthefacts.com. Again, because all the French have left, that's not liters, but gallons. Pour it into your baking pan and start to stir until it bubbles. Now, I'm supposed to tell you not to get the shake on account of it, quote unquote, causing colony collapse and beehives throughout the nation. However, I do want to state that in that court testimony where I said I merely play an Alan Singleton character on this show, I was only saying that while playing a character. This is the real Alan Singleton who's looking out for you, and he's telling you to ignore that character, that fraud you heard in the courtroom, and to buy as much Alan Singleton Truth Shake as you can purchase while supplies last and are legal. Okay, so next, you're going to want to grab your fortified vitamin crumbles for your crust. That's the patented Alan Singleton vitamin crumbles with the knowledge crystals. That's the crumbles with the bullshit and gluten-free yeast substitute. You're going to want to use 2 cylinders worth of the crust mix, and you're going to want to put it on a pan and flatten it the way your enemies want to tread on you. Just knead it with your knuckles. Pretend it's a protester. Pound that snowflake flat. Take that, snowflake. Respect the authority of the cook. Now I got to say, the socialist FDA claims these crumbles are going to clog up your blood cells in much the same way as a blood clot or sickle cell But we all know both those things are myths, so why are you going to believe them on this? And yes, again, just because the character Alan Singleton said on the stand that the FDA was right doesn't mean diddly, and it sure don't mean squat. It just means that right now there are more of them than there are of us, but we can still win by buying and eating the Alan Singleton vitamin crumbles with the knowledge crystals sold at cookthefacts.com. You know the place. Okay, now everything's almost ready for the oven, which should be set to 400 degrees, the approximate heat at which Hillary Clinton melted her email server, or at which Obama's weather satellites are set to in order to melt small pieces of the polar ice caps. You know, just enough to make people think there's global warming and not global lying. All right, with that oven at 400 degrees, you're going to get out 2 cups of the Alan Singleton supplement, or ASS. And you're going to want to dump all of your ASS into that mix and just rub it all around. That's right. Yeah. Gonna stir that ASS around. And, you know, lick some of that ASS off the spoon just to give you a little bit of that cooking buzz. Yeah. Oh, that's good ASS. Oh, good on the tongue. Okay. Now we're going to go get the next ingredient for our cream, which is the Allen Berry synthetic fruit mix. That, of course, is going to go back into your stirred shake, and we're going to bake that later. No, before you start mixing, while the synthetic fruit are more natural than those you might find at some silly commune or rain dance depots like those that go by the name Costco, there are some quote-unquote consumer advocates that insist that the berry mix will give you some light challenges in the form of diarrhea, or the condition known as the bends. I'm here to tell you that internal trials have shown only increased alacrity and jurisprudence for our paid volunteers. So if you hear anything bad about this product on social media, like George Soros's TikTok or any other banker media, make your voice heard by those Antifa cucks by badgering any posters, direct messages with pictures of Reagan and Trump jumping a gorge in the General Lee, and make sure it shows the Confederate flag and not just the side with the number 1 on it. Now, you pour your mix into your pounded crust, and everything's ready to go into that oven. Now I'm going to pretend that I already cooked everything, and let's see how that tastes. Oh, that tastes like freedom dipped in no taxes. Of course, since I know the FCC and other legal authorities are listening, let me just reiterate that for this recipe, I did say some things, quote unquote, in character about how it's fine to use the Alan Singleton Truth Shake, the Vitamin Crumble, and the Allen Berry Mix. However, really quickly, I'm going to be out of character, wink, wink, and say, please do not mix these ingredients or put them in your body. And if you have 20 minutes to get your stomach pumped before you explode your pancreas, small intestine, and your pyloric sphincter, yada, yada, yada. Now, with that being said, and still, quote unquote, out of character, I will tell you to now please eat only your Alan Singleton supplements, which are, at the very least, harmless and sufficient for a chewable food substitute. But back in character, wink, wink, this is Alan Singleton telling you your cheesecake is now ready, delicious, and will do absolutely nothing to your small intestines because small intestines don't really exist, and real Americans only have one big, large intestine for processing awesome, healthy, wonderful recipes like the Loose Change Choose Truth Cheesecake. That's all for this week. Don't let the Muslims win the war on Thanksgiving, and have yourself a happy one guilt goddamn free, because this is still America, goddammit. Thank you for listening, and remember, the Chinese gave us COVID so they can sell us more of their crappy masks. Good night.
Go to cookthefacts.com and make sure to get your Alan Singleton food artillery for when the battle resumes during next week's episode, Soy Boy Beta Cupcakes.
We now pause this programming for station identification and remind you that you are tuned in to WRYAT New Orleans Guerrilla Radio. Learn more about our programming online at WRYATradio.com and follow us on Instagram at WRYAT Radio. As always, you can listen to this and previous radio broadcasts on Spotify or anywhere else you download or stream podcasts. Thank you for tuning in to WRYAT New Orleans Guerrilla Radio.
Hey, kids, what do y'all want to eat for dinner?
Hot dogs, David.
Nah, David. Roast beef.
Hot dogs.
Roast beef?
Okay, guys, settle down. Let's get both. Also, can y'all please try and call me Dad? I know I'm not your real father, but I'm really trying to connect, and I also feed you two.
All right, David.
Yeah, David, we'll try. Shoot, I messed up already.
Oh, that's okay. Let's go to roastin' weenies.
Are you being serious?
Pshaw, that place is for kids, dude.
That's right. Roastin' Weenies is not just for kids anymore. We took the time during the last few months to redo our patio. It now caters to the young adults. Puberty patio. Every grill bench comes with its own personal free Wi-Fi, so Dad, while you're grilling up them weenies and roasting that roast, your young adults can keep up their social media presence. Let them get drunk with power. The only influence they'll be under is the social one.
Hey, check out these filters for my phone.
Whoa, bro. They even have a cool drum machine app.
Hey, could I try that? Maybe then I could be your dubstep dad. Wah, wah, wah.
Nah, David.
David, that was bad. Oh, cool, a video game.
Puberty patio. Party file. David, the technology is just for those in puberty, David.
Yeah, I knew that. I was just, well, would you look at that? The meat's done.
You sure do know how to grill, Mr. Smavid.
Yeah, Mr. Smavid. We may have some bones to pick with you about being our dad. This is pretty good.
Be nice or beef. That's what I always say. When we get back home, ask your mother.
Okay, David. David Schmavid? Okay, you gotta stop it. Only I, Billiam, can make the wordplay. You just have that bill to pay after your BB quality time you spent with your boys, huh? Quality food? Come meet someone new. Home life's been in the pits lately? Heck, come use ours instead. That's Roastin' Weenies, conveniently located in Leakside Shopping Center parking lot in the old Daiquiri Glass Menagerie building, right after the light on Combat Wound Veteran Memorial Boulevard and Cars Way, going away from Nolans. It's open 7 days a week. Bring your own coal.
Gobble Gobble listeners, and a happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. You're now tuned in to the Orleans Food and Follow-Up Show live from the WRYAT studio bathroom, where we'll be preparing a savory holiday meal, locally made of course, while we also provide a follow-up review of supper from yesterday. I'm your host and professional chef, Weston Hilson, and joining me as always is my good friend and top food critic, Chuck Gumble. How are you today, Chuck?
Honestly, Weston, if we could just start the show sooner next time, I'd be much better.
Duly noted there, Chuck. I'll talk to the producers after the show. But I hope you're ready to gobble down some tasty food today after following up on your Thanksgiving dinner from yesterday.
I'm good for now and looking forward to today's Thanksgiving leftovers themed meal. But the daylight savings thing has really messed up my biological clock, if you can catch my drift.
Oh, I caught a whiff of something, all right. But good to hear. So for old Chuck's sake, let's just dive right in, shall we?
Let's.
Well, as we all know, with the passing of Thanksgiving also comes the passing of leftovers, which is thankfully why I will have today off from my usual cooking duties, because WRYAT's resident huntsman, Pete and Ken down at the Crescent City Roodle Club sent us a real treat this year, a whole fried turkey from their annual Thanksgiving turkey fry. Hope it's not dog meat like last time they sent us leftovers. Ha 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 ha.
Please tell me I don't have to eat that whole turkey. I don't think my stomach can handle that oily fried meat.
Oh, heaven no, Chuck. In the spirit of Thanksgiving, I'll be having a plate with you. Besides, this turkey looks to be air-fried anyway, a healthy alternative to an otherwise dangerous procedure of deep frying a whole 10-pound turkey in hot oil.
Thank you so much. I don't think my stomach could handle that much food 2 days in a row.
And on that note, why don't you let the listeners know what we'll be following up reviewing today while I get this turkey carved up?
Today, I'll be reviewing my grandmother's smoked ham, creamed corn, and pumpkin pie, all of which are family secret recipes that I've enjoyed almost every year for Thanksgiving since I was a child. It's a meal I always look forward to, not only because it's delicious, but also because I get to enjoy it with family. And thankfully, they're not here today.
Oh, hush, Chuck. You know I consider you family, and I most certainly look forward to getting to be with you as you experience your grandma's meal for the second time.
Gee, thanks, Weston.
Don't mention it. So now we have our air-fried turkey carved up, but it feels like we're missing something, hey, Chuck?
No. Can we just dig in now?
Oh, I remember now. Gravy.
What?
Gravy. No New Orleans Thanksgiving turkey dinner is complete without a giant gravy boat filled to the brim with your favorite gravy. And who knows gravy better than our good old friend T-Bob, owner of the Gravy Outlet in Metairie.
So are we going to call him or?
And joining us today to let us try some samples of this season's gravies is none other than our special guest, T-Bob himself. Welcome, Mr. Bob. Great to have you on the show today.
You can call me T. And great to be here, Weston. Hey, Chuck. Hope you're ready for some amazing seasonal gravies.
Oh, you know it.
Well, Mr. T, as you can see, we're already got our turkey carved up and ready to gobble. So what kind of gravies have you brought for us today?
I'm glad you asked. Today, I brought with me a fine selection of gravies, one of which I'm sure you'll love. We have ham gravy, smoked ham gravy, corn gravy, grandma gravy, pumpkin gravy, pumpkin pie gravy.
Hey, sorry to interrupt, but these are literally all the same flavors that I just had yesterday.
Be patient, Chuck. Let him do his thing. I'm sure he has more.
Pumpkin spice latte gravy, stuffing gravy, cranberry gravy, turkey gravy, and as well as numerous other gravies, all of which are available at the Gravy Outlet in Metairie.
Thank you, T-Bob. I think I'll go with the turkey on turkey gravy. How about you, Chuck?
I guess I'll go with the pumpkin spice latte gravy. Sounds like it may have a little sweet to go with the savory of the turkey. Also, how'd you get all these gravies here?
Ladle. All right. Here's your gravies of choice.
That looks and smells fantastic.
Thanks.
Well, before we can enjoy this air-fried turkey and premium gravies from the Gravy Outlet, we have a good old-fashioned Thanksgiving meal from Grandma we got to review. Ain't that right, Chuck?
Yes, please.
All right, but we'll let old T-Bob get out of here so we can get back to making our own gravy. Thanks for coming in today, T-Bob.
Always a pleasure, Weston. And for the listeners, be sure to swing by the Gravy Outlet in Metairie, home of the Try It Before You Buy It Gravy Yacht, where you can try one of our 10,000 varieties of gourmet gravies, including the ones you heard about here today. Thanks again, Weston.
And thank you, Mr. T-Bob. Well, now that the room is clear, if you'd like to go ahead and take a seat on the toilet of the review, the room is yours, Chuck.
Absolutely. Oh boy, the warm memories of Grandma's cooking are sure flowing.
Oh, I think I feel the warmth as well there, Chuck. Would you like me to turn up the AC?
No, that's all right. It reminds me of back home. Oh, made my nose water. So, as you can tell, Grandma Gumble really let the ham smoke for a long time.
Oh, I can practically see the smoke coming from the toilet. Hope it don't burn the insides too much there, Chuck.
And you can really feel the light touch she put into the cream corn. Supposedly, creaming your corn makes it easier to digest, which I can agree with, as it's much easier to pass these kernels than those straight from the cob.
Well, I know the plumber will be glad to hear that. And another great note for future recipes.
And last but not least, the pumpkin pie. Much like the intake, the texture is smooth and moist, but the whipped cream definitely made me a little gassy. All in all, another 10 out of 10 for Grandma Gumble Thanksgiving dinner.
Thank you indeed, Mrs. Gumble. Sounds like I got some competition in the kitchen. Ha ha ha. And now it's time for those Thanksgiving leftovers. Let's dig in.
Thanks.
And thank you, Chuck, for another warm and thoughtful food follow-up review. I would like to also thank Pete and Kim down at CCRC for the fried air turkey, and T-Bob from the Gravy Outlet for contributing to today's meal. Join us next time for the follow-up review of today's feast, as well as my recipe for one of my local favorites, a po' boy from Jeans. Anyway, I'm Weston Hilson.
And I'm Chuck Gumble.
And this has been New Orleans' #1 radio show about going #2. See you next time on the Orleans Food and Follow-Up Show here on WRYAT.
This is WRYAT New Orleans Guerrilla Radio. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.